Your dog did something today that seemed completely normal. Maybe they slept a little longer than usual. Maybe they skipped part of their breakfast. Maybe they licked the same spot on their leg 3 times while you were watching TV, and you thought, that's just a dog thing. But here's what most owners never find out until much later. Some of the things your dog does every single day, things that look like habits, quirks, or just their personality, are actually your dog's only way of telling you that something is wrong. They cannot say it out loud. They cannot point to where it hurts. All they can do is behave differently.
And the gap between noticing that behavior and understanding what it actually means, that gap is where a lot of serious things get missed. Today, we are going to close that gap. 8 behaviors your dog might be showing you right now that deserve a second look, because your dog is not being random. They are communicating. And one of the signs on this list is so easy to overlook that most owners have seen it dozens of times and never once connected it to what it actually means. If you have ever watched your dog do something and thought, why do they keep doing that? Subscribe to PAR right now, because understanding what your dog cannot say is exactly what this channel exists for. Let us start with number 8.
You filled the bowl this morning. By afternoon, it was empty again. You probably thought, they must be thirsty today. Hot day, they were running around, nothing to worry about. And sometimes that is exactly right. But persistent increased thirst, not occasionally, not after exercise, but consistently, day after day, is one of the earliest signs the body uses to signal that something internal is shifting. Kidney changes, diabetes, hormonal imbalances, all of them show up in water intake before they show up anywhere else. Your dog cannot tell you their kidneys are working harder than they should be, but they will drink more water.
And here is what makes this one so easy to miss. Increased thirst does not look like a symptom. It looks like a thirsty dog. It looks completely normal. The question to ask is not whether your dog drinks water. The question is whether the amount has changed. Start paying attention to the bowl. If it has been emptying faster than it used to, even just slightly, that change is worth a conversation with your vet, because the things worth catching early almost never announce themselves loudly. And the next sign is even quieter than this one.
Number 7. Your dog has always had their spots. The corner of the couch, the patch of floor by the back door, the exact angle they always fold themselves into when they sleep. And then one day, quietly, without drama, they start choosing differently. They lie flat instead of curled. They keep one leg extended. They shift their weight in a way you have never seen before. Most owners read this as a mood thing, a preference. Maybe they found a cooler spot. But a dog choosing a new position is sometimes a dog finding the position that hurts the least. Joint pain, spinal discomfort, developing arthritis, abdominal tenderness. None of these things will make your dog cry or stop moving entirely in the early stages.
What they will do is quietly rearrange themselves. They will find the angle that takes pressure off the thing that is bothering them. And they will do it so calmly that you might watch it happen for weeks without connecting the behavior to its cause. This one is worth watching over time. A single position change means nothing. A consistent pattern of avoiding certain postures or certain sides of their body, that is your dog editing their life around something they cannot name. The next sign is one almost every dog owner will recognize instantly once they hear it described this way.
Number 6. Your dog has always loved being scratched behind the ears, along the back, at the base of the tail. And then one day they flinch. Not dramatically, not aggressively, just a small pull away, a slight tensing of the body. An almost invisible signal that says, not there. Most owners assume their dog is being moody. Maybe they startled them, maybe they pressed too hard. But a dog that consistently pulls away from contact in a specific location is a dog protecting a specific location. Localized pain does not announce itself with howling. It announces itself with avoidance. A lump under the skin you cannot see. A muscle that is inflamed. A joint that has become tender. A developing ear infection. The pain is invisible from the outside, but the avoidance tells you exactly where it is. Pay attention to where your dog redirects your hand. Pay attention to which part of their body they shift away from contact with. That redirection is not moodiness. It is precision. It is your dog telling you, not there, something is wrong there, with the
only vocabulary they have. And then something else begins. Something that is even easier to explain away.
Number 5. This one feels strange to talk about, but it matters more than most owners realize. Your dog has a smell. Not a bad smell, just their smell. The particular combination of their coat, their skin, their breath, the version of them that you know well enough to recognize without thinking about it. When that smell changes, not from rolling in something, not from a muddy walk, but on its own, from the inside, it is worth noticing. A persistent sweet or fruity smell on the breath can signal metabolic changes. A new ammonia-like odor can indicate kidney stress. A sudden change in how their skin or coat smells, different in a way that is hard to name but unmistakable once you notice it, can signal infection, hormonal change, or other internal shifts. Most owners dismiss this because it seems too vague, too subjective, but you know your dog's smell better than anyone else does. And when something is different, not just after a walk or a meal, but consistently, day after day, that change is your nose telling you something your eyes cannot see yet. Trust that signal, because the one coming up next has caused more misdiagnoses than almost any other behavior on this list.
Number 4. You have seen this 100 times. Your dog sits down, finds a spot on their leg or paw or belly, and starts licking. You wait, they keep going, you say their name, they look up, pause, then go right back to it. Most owners assume allergies, dry skin, boredom, just something dogs do. And sometimes it is, but persistent, targeted, repetitive licking of a single location is one of the clearest signals a dog can send. Dogs lick wounds. They lick pain. They lick areas where the nerve endings are sending information that something is wrong below the surface. A hot spot developing underneath the fur, a cyst forming, an insect bite that has become infected, a joint that aches and whose closest accessible surface is a patch of skin your dog keeps returning to.
The licking is not random. The location is not random. A dog that returns to exactly the same spot day after day is returning because something there keeps calling for their attention. Check that spot. Part the fur. Look at the skin. And if you see nothing obvious but the behavior continues, take your dog to the vet and show them exactly where your dog keeps returning to. Because what is underneath what you can see is sometimes the thing that matters most. And what comes next, number 3, is one that owners almost universally misread as a good thing.
Your dog seems calmer lately. They are less demanding. They are not bothering you as much. They sleep through the morning now when they used to be up early. And you think they are just mellowing out, getting older, finally settling down. Most owners experience this shift as a relief. Here is what it might actually be. A dog that is resting more than they used to rest is sometimes a dog whose body is spending energy on something other than being active. The immune system fighting something costs energy. Pain costs energy. The body managing an internal process it is struggling with costs energy. Rest is not always relaxation. Sometimes rest is your dog's body pulling resources away from activity and redirecting them to a problem you cannot see yet. This one is genuinely hard to catch because it looks like exactly what you want from a dog. Calm, settled, easy. The question is not whether your dog sleeps. The question is whether the pattern has shifted. Have they become noticeably less interested in things that used to excite them? Less responsive to the walk? Less engaged with the toy? Sleeping through the time of day they used to be most alert? That shift in baseline, not one tired day, but a consistent change over weeks, is worth bringing to a vet's attention. Because the quieter a dog gets, the more carefully we should be listening. And what we need to talk about next is the sign that almost no one connects to health at all. Number 2, your dog is not tired. They just woke up from a nap. They have been lying still for an hour. Nothing happened, and they yawn again and again. You probably did not even register it, because yawning is something everyone does, and it looks like nothing. But repeated yawning that is disconnected from tiredness or sleepiness is a documented stress signal in dogs. It is called a displacement behavior, something the body does when the nervous system is under pressure and doesn't have another outlet. Nausea causes it, pain causes it, anxiety causes it, the early stages of illness cause it. A dog that is genuinely tired yawns once and goes to sleep. A dog that keeps yawning without becoming sleepy In a situation that should be calm, that dog's nervous system is speaking. It is one of the most overlooked signals precisely because it is so ordinary. You have probably seen your dog do this in the car, at the vet, before a thunderstorm. Those are stress situations, and the yawning makes sense there. But when it happens at home, on a quiet evening, without a clear cause, that is the version worth paying attention to. Because that version is not tiredness. That version is your dog managing something you cannot see. And that brings us to number 1, the sign most owners have seen, the one almost nobody understands.
Number 1, you come home every day, and every day your dog meets you at the door. But lately, something is different. They still come, but they come more slowly. The energy is not quite the same. They seem glad to see you, but the greeting has changed in some way that you cannot exactly name. It is just slightly off from what it used to be. Most owners rationalize this immediately. They must be tired. They must have had a long day. They are just getting older, and sometimes that is all it is. But here is what makes this sign the most important one on the entire list.
Your dog's greeting is the one behavior that has no other purpose than expressing how they feel in that moment. They are not eating. They are not sleeping. They are not doing anything that has a competing function. The greeting is pure emotional expression. And when that expression changes, when the dog who used to sprint to the door now walks, when the dog who used to jump now just raises their head, when the energy that used to pour out of them is quieter than it has ever been, something has shifted in how your dog feels, not their mood, their well-being. A changed greeting that persists over days and weeks is not a phase. It is a signal.
And it is worth more than almost anything else on this list because it is coming from the part of your dog that has no reason to hide anything. This is them, unfiltered, telling you something is different. The question is whether you are watching closely enough to notice that the thing that changed is them.
Your dog does not have words, but they have never been silent. Every position they choose, every spot they return to, every change in their greeting or their sleep or their energy, all of it is language. The only barrier between you and understanding it is knowing what to look for. If your dog is showing any of the signs we covered today, do not wait for something dramatic before you act. The things worth catching early almost never arrive dramatically. They arrive quietly.
In a behavior you have seen 100 times and never quite connected to what it was actually trying to tell you, here is what I want to ask you in the comments. Has your dog ever done something that seemed odd or random, and later you found out it was actually a sign that something was wrong? Tell us what it was. Tell us how long it went on before you realized. We read every single comment. And if you want to keep learning what your dog is trying to tell you in the ways they cannot say out loud, subscribe to Power. We will see you in the next one.